Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I'm owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. Today we're going to talk about counting the cost and how much that needs to be a part of our decision-making matrix. And so often I work in relational dynamics and environmental dynamics that people are considering changing. So the question, should I stay or should I go, is very common. In the work environment that I'm in, should I stay or should I go? In the relational context that I'm in, should I stay or should I go? In the church family that I call home, should I stay or should I go? In this unhealthy dynamic within my family, should I stay or should I go? That's a very common question getting asked. And it's important, and the language I'll use is I do not glamorize, I do not pathologize. And what I mean by those related to should I stay or should I go is I will never misrepresent that leaving is better or staying is better, because I don't know which one is better for you. I will also not turn it into some sort of diagnosis where you're anxiety or you're depressed or you're this or you're that because of the context that you're in. We're not going to load it with labels, and we're not going to glamorize it. What we're going to do is slow everything down as much as we can, and we're going to weigh the cost of staying and weigh the cost of leaving. Because my friends, they both have a cost. They will always have a cost. If I stay in whatever this dynamic is, it's going to cost me growing pains. It's going to typically cost me the ability to tell truth. It's going to cost me having to set some boundaries and going through the frustration of people impeding or traversing those boundaries. And I'm going to have to double down, and I'm going to have to do a lot of growth work around how do I stay healthy if there's dysfunction around me. And if I go, there's this whole rebuild that has to happen. There's often a collapse in a piece of my identity that now needs to be held and grieved and lamented. And then I have to look into my history to say, hey, how did that happen? And how do I move forward and not just recreate that same experience? There's a ton of growth work there too. That includes limits and boundaries and communication and healing. And there's a ton there. You will pay the price either way. And so we weight it and we say, what is that going to cost? Now, both require sacrifice. And when someone shows up in my room here, what they're saying is they're at least thinking about, hey, how do I move in a direction? Or how do I deal with my stuckness in my current situation? Those are very common reasons people might come to therapy. And so our job is to slow it down as much as possible. And we say, you know what? If you stay, this is what it might look like. If you leave, this is what it might look like. If you stay, these are the skills you might need. If you leave, these are the skills you'll be developing and have to attend to. If you stay, this is what the growing pains might look like. If you leave, this is what the growing pains might look like. And we slow it all down again and again, because it is imperative to not glamorize leaving or staying and not pathologize, well, they're just this or they're just that if they leave or if they stay. I don't think either typically are accurate. I think what's important is there's always a cost. Whether you stay, there's a cost. Whether you leave, there's a cost. And we want to come at it with as much clarity as possible, which means slowing it down, making sure that I understand neither one is a perfect solution. They're both pathways. And my job is to try to inventory as clearly as possible, what does this pathway look like? What does this pathway look like? And then make decisions from there. And now there's a whole other host of things that influence that, including, our worldviews and our community contacts and our religious frameworks and the resources that we have. There's many things that factor into it, but we use those ideas in our analysis of, am I staying or am I going? This workplace, this family system, this relationship, this environmental context, I need to be weighting the cost if I'm staying and if I'm going. Guys, if you need someone to slow things down with you, feel free to reach out. I work in transitions because I intimately understand what it's like to have competing narratives going and what it experientially feels like to have someone walk alongside of you and say, we can go left and we can go right and we'll go together, but these are the pieces you need to be aware of.